So, hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about what inequalities are and how you solve them. And I will finish off my tutorial by giving you guys an example. So, the definition of an inequality is the relationship between two expressions that are not equal. And an inequality is represented by a sign like this. An equal sign that is crossed out, which means not equal to. This sign, which means greater than, or this sign, which means less than. An example of this is 3, then the sign from number 2, and 2, which means 3 is greater than 2. Another example would be 2, then the sign from number 3, and then 3, which means 2 is less than 3. Some inequalities, however, have the following signs, like number 1, which is the greater than sign with a little line underneath. That means that it is greater than or equal to. And number 2 has the same, is the same as less than, but also has the line underneath, which means that it is less than or equal to. Now I will give you real life examples. For example, to cook a steak perfectly, medium rare, there needs to be an internal temperature of 135 Fahrenheit inside of the steak. A lower temperature will cause the steak to undercook. Now, in this example, we are trying to figure out what the temperatures are that lead to an undercooked steak. In this inequality, we represent T as temperature. Now I have written down T with this sign is equal to 135. The reason this is correct is because this sign means less than. Now, it shows that temperature is less than 135. And in this context, it means temperatures that are less than 135 Fahrenheit will lead to an undercooked steak. Number 2, Marie wants to go ice skating, but only if the temperature is colder than or equal to 4 degrees Celsius. Now we want to know what the temperatures are at which Marie will go ice skating. In this inequality, the T also stands for temperature. So the reason why this is correct is because this sign means less than or equal to. It shows that any temperature that is less than or equal to 4 is the temperature at which Marie will go ice skating. Now, in a more mathematical and algebraic inequalities where it is not a real life example, I will also show you how to do those. Now, the example that I have chosen is x minus 7 is greater than or equal to minus 9. Step 1 is to simplify both sides. As this is already super simple, we don't need to simplify. I just kept it the same. X minus 7 is greater than or equal to minus 9. Step 2 is to obtain all the variables that are similar to the same sides. So I have x on one side and the normal numbers on the other side. Here, I added 7 and put it to this side. So I added 7 on both sides. The result is that it is x is greater than or equal to minus 2. And that is the finished result. The step 3 is to graph the results. to graph a result, you draw out a straight line and you put little lines like on a ruler, and then you would put the number that you got here and put it in the middle and put -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, -3, 4, -4, and -5, like on a ruler. And then you put a dot, either a dot like this or a dot like this, on top of the number that is your results. This means that it is greater than, or less than, depending on the equation, or equal to. So either this or this. This is just greater than or equal to. So either this or this. As in this inequality, it is greater than or equal to. We use a full circle. Then you put the full circle in front, above the number you have chosen, and as it says is greater than or equal to, you extend the line like this, showing that any number, x can be any number that is greater than or equal to -2. Now, this example does not require to do any multiplication or division, especially division, actually, by a negative number. However, I also want to explain what happens if that is the case. If you have to divide or multiply, whatever, by a negative number, you have to switch the inequality sign. So in this case, it is -2. X is less than or equal to 4. Then you divide by -2. Now you have to switch the inequality sign to the other direction to have x is greater than or equal to -2 to make it correct. Step 4 is to plug the number, any number that is, on this side of the line, of the equation line, to plug it into the equation and check if it is correct. I've chosen -2 is greater than or equal to -2. That is right. Or -1 is greater than or equal to -2, which is also correct, which means that this equation and how I solved it must be correct. Now, the last example, I don't know if you can see. The last example is -8 in brackets 6 plus 2a, brackets closed, is less than 8, bracket in brackets a minus 9. So the first step is to expand it. And as you can see, I have done that. -8 times 6 is equal to -48. -8 plus 2a is -16a. Then is less than 8 times a is 8a. 8 minus times -9 is -17, 2. Step 2 is to simplify by putting similar variables to the same side. That meaning the a is on one side and the number is on the other side. So I have decided that I wanted to try and make things positive and not negative by putting the a's on this side and the numbers on this side. I decided to put 72 on this side and to put this -16a to this side. The result is 24 is less than 24a. Now, I divided it by 24. So 24 divided by 24 is 1. And the result is 1 is less than a. But I decided that I wanted to have the a on the right side on the left side because it just looks nicer and is more clear to look at. To do that, you also have to change the inequality sign. So this wouldn't be correct anymore if I did this. Because here it says 1 is less than A. Here it says A is less than 1. So I have to change it to A is greater than 1 because it has the same meaning as 1 is less than A. Step 4, plug in numbers from the number line to check if it is correct. I plugged in 2 because that is on the number line. 2 is greater than 1, and that was right. So overall, that is how you solve inequalities. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and thank you so much for listening.